You're tuned in to the It's Real podcast with your hosts, Kayla Callender and Andrew Yagi. Each week, we'll talk about what happens behind the scenes working full-time in real estate and share with you real-life stories, our successes and failures as we work to help consumers and industry professionals reach their real estate and real-life goals. Here we go. Episode 9 of the It's Real podcast. I'm Andrew Yagi, and I'm a real estate agent.
Hi, I'm Kayla Callender, and I'm a mortgage lender.
Kayla, great to see you as always.
Always a pleasure, Andrew Yagi. Always a pleasure.
And today we are going to talk about a lot of different things, including integrity, especially as it pertains to working with clients, something that, probably doesn't get talked about enough. But before we get to our topic of the day, I want to circle back because a couple of weeks ago, we actually took a week off from our podcast. And I guess both of us were a little bit busy, but
Yes.
Why don't you talk a little bit about what you were up to? Because it's kind of a big deal, Kayla.
Yeah, I was actually in LA for about 4 or 5 days for an event called SocialCon. I was invited by Jeff and Tristan, who actually have a whole social media academy. They're focused on helping people to establish a presence online and really focus on how powerful social media is. So I had the opportunity to be on stage as a panelist and share and add value to those attending and those around me about how I utilize social media and my why behind it. So I was there with so many amazing people from TikTok influencers, Instagram, YouTube. I mean, we had people like Austin Armstrong talking about, Chat GPT and syllabi. It was really so wonderful to be in a room with those kinds of people who truly lean in. So that's what I was doing.
That's really remarkable. And I think you were even on a couple of panels out there. I was just kind of looking and, kind of saw some of your posts, so to speak, and really kind of cool to see to see you in action, Kayla, so to speak.
Yeah, it was, I've never been on stage before. However, it does come very naturally to me to be able to share valuable information and to relate to people with their fear of getting in front of a camera when it's pretty much just thrown and forced at us. And so really being empathetic to the crowd and really understanding the need for video and the requirement for video to succeed in today's markets.
So from Walhalla, North Dakota to California by way of Fargo. That's really impressive.
Yeah,
And
thank you, Andy.
I know Tristan, who you reference, Ahumada, or however I'm mispronouncing his name, but I've followed him quite a bit, and he's actually, obviously really involved in the real estate realm and really have done some of his trainings and respected him. And, you talk about video. Kayla, I started doing video like only a year ago. And, I think one of the cool things about video is there are just so many different ways to incorporate it into your business. Just like being a real estate agent or being a lender, your business is totally different than, probably every other person's out there. And it's been a really, really fun journey, especially as I've tried to figure out, what's my net in real estate, because it's a very crowded marketplace. I'm kind of the new kid on the block. I came in with a lot of relationships and a lot of hustle, but video is something that is really important and ultimately not just for me, but really for my clients as I'm working, to kind of market their properties and kind of showcase them and what makes them so unique. So I'm glad that we're on the same page with video.
We are. And the really cool value that video adds is people can see you, hear your tone, and get to know you. And so when you're looking at a way to stand out, am I going to get to know Andy via a picture or video? Am I going to get to know Andy on a postcard? Yeah, maybe.
Yep, absolutely. No, you're right. There are a lot of video, just adds a totally new dimension. And, I tell my clients, especially my sellers, it's really one of, the best services that I can provide them is really showcasing their property, what makes it so unique, using video, and ultimately helps me win over a lot of clients and also helps us actively lead generate to find more buyers for their home.
you're spot on, Andy. And I see you and you're doing it right. And I'm excited to see what else you can do.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to look for me on TikTok anytime soon. Although, Kayla, we might not be finding you on TikTok either. It kind of looks like the government
Mm,
is really
eh,
working hard at shutting TikTok down.
not
But
going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But you'd be amazed at all the other items that are coming out, from Lemonade to, YouTube Shorts.
yep,
Who knows? But all I can tell you is, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you have your videos saved. Don't keep them out just on social media.
yep, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you had that opportunity. It was great to travel. I wish we could have connected. I was also busy out of town. As you know, I do a little bit of contract
Yes.
flying, and I was actually out of the country on a flying trip that was actually extended a little bit just due to, the bad weather we were having. But, that's where I'm really grateful, number one, for technology and the leverage of my team. Back in the office, actually, last week or 2 weeks ago now, we listed 8 properties, and a big reason I'm able to do that and indulge in some other things that I enjoy doing that help keep me sharp is having just such a tremendous team back in the
Mhm.
office.
Mhm. It takes a village, and that allows you to shine where you shine the most. And
Mhm.
that's development, sales, and connections, relationships.
Kayla, I want to talk today a little bit about integrity, about treating people right. It's something frequently, and not just in our business, but in our daily lives, integrity or character,
Mhm.
really what you're doing when no one else is watching, and doing things for the right reason, that becomes so important and are so, they're paramount in our business. Talk about that a little bit as far as what integrity or character mean to you, and especially as a mortgage lender, as you're serving your clients.
Integrity is exactly what you said. Integrity is, what are you doing when people aren't watching? How are you serving your clients? What are you saying about people? What are you doing? What actionable items are you doing when you're not on social media, or you're not in front of your clients? Who are you as a human? And for me, it means, what am I doing for my clients? What am I doing to put them in the best situation for their benefit, not mine? And
Mhm.
so, as a mortgage lender, I think that we're seeing social security numbers, we're seeing bank statements, we're seeing what people are spending. We know what people can afford. We also know that a client has the opportunity to maybe pay for a rate or put more or less down. And so, for me, the way that I show my clients that I have integrity is, I'm going to educate you. Same with referral partners. I'm going to educate you and then allow you to make that decision. I never want to be making a decision for my client, because I think that for some, they might come back and say, well, did you do that just for this? No. The key for lenders is to educate and inspire them for them to make a decision. And so that's kind of my secret sauce into proving to people, I'm just going to allow you to make that decision. How
Mhm.
how about you, Andy? What about as a realtor?
Yep, no, that's a great question, and because there's so much trust factor.
Yeah.
People are placing their trust in you, as it pertains to one of their largest assets. And so, how do you illustrate that when you can't necessarily always show people?
Yeah.
So I actually, interestingly enough, I had a couple in my office just the other day, and they came in and, hey, I had sold some properties in the area. They see my videos, they want to work with me. And one of their questions was, because they're buying a home in another location, they said, hey, we
Mhm.
met a really, really great agent, you know, who ultimately is representing both sides. But this
Mhm.
particular agent really sat down and spent a lot of time with us, really made us feel at ease, answered our questions, was very knowledgeable. And it was clear that this agent had a lot of integrity. So I think, a big piece of it you can't necessarily see, but, what do you exude, towards your clients? And so she actually asked me, she said, well, how do we know that you have integrity?
Mhm.
And I said, well, I guess, I mean, I can share instances, I can share
Mhm.
stories. I think it really goes back to my upbringing, growing up in a very, conservative, traditional farming family, where my dad instilled in us that
Mhm.
you always do the right thing, even if nobody's watching. And, even if you run into a situation in life where you aren't in the wrong and someone's coming after you, just, bow out gracefully. Always do the right thing. And so, transferring over to real estate, I think it's something that it definitely has to be earned, but you
Yeah.
definitely have to, I think by showing interest in your client, by taking the time to listen to their needs
Mhm.
and, give them advice accordingly, you're in showing them that you're handling them well. I think
Mhm.
is really, really paramount because honestly, Kayla, like where we're at, especially as an agent, we can act as a dual agent where, we
Right.
may represent a buyer and a seller in the same transaction. And that can get a little bit sticky,
Yeah.
as far as duties that are due to the client, which at that point, you have to remain fairly impartial, but definitely have the duty of confidentiality to both
Mhm.
parties.
You do. And I think you said something there. It has to be earned. Well, how are people, clients that are talking to realtors and lenders every day, how do they really find out if someone has integrity? You don't really know until probably you buy a house and it's done with. So that's where I encourage people. I actually send my clients my digital business card, and it allows them to look at me in all social media platforms, to go look at my reviews. If they, heck, go to my Facebook and see what mutual friends we have and say, hey, I'm thinking about working with Kayla. I see you're a mutual friend. Do your research, is what I'm saying. Is it's kind of a gamble, but we have to prove it by doing. And so I guess my thoughts to clients when you're talking to different lenders and realtors, and even realtors looking to use lenders, looking to use realtors, do your research. And the the web is so amazing, and all these apps and things to be able to find people, because unless you truly know someone or know someone that knows them, it's really hard to tell.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
You're absolutely right and really, really spot on, when it
Mhm.
comes to reviews. And again, so my business, and I know yours is a lot the same, Kayla, building a business based off of referrals, based off of your sphere of influence, past
Mhm.
clients. And so you're looking for people, to kind of, refer you, so to speak. And I'm
Mhm.
looking for the same thing too, but you're right, reviews are so important. I was just glancing around just a little bit and kind of looking at your page, and you've got a 4.8 out of 5. You've got 52 reviews. I mean, that's really, really awesome to see. I
Mhm.
haven't done as much with social media reviews as much as
Mhm.
on Google. I've got 48 reviews of
That's
5.0.
awesome.
Some people would say, well, you don't, you're lacking some credibility there because you don't have any detractors. And obviously, I'm sure one day that'll come. There will be somebody who's upset about something, but
Mhm.
just even trying our best, Kayla, we're not always going to please everybody.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No, and I think if you're trying to please everybody, you're going to please nobody. So, it's kind of like that whole saying that I say, that my life coach told me was, be a lighthouse, not a lifeguard, meaning shine your light, be bright, be you, be authentically yourself, and boats will find you and come to you, versus being a lifeguard chasing down people, trying to get them to use you and like you. What comes off as more authentic? Shining bright, exactly who you are, or chasing down people? I mean, even, if a client is going between me and another lender, I'm not going to be pushy and say, well, that other bank or that other mortgage company, I don't know. At the end of the day, they can read through the lines, and it's just saying, that's a great option. I'm a great option. I really hope to work with you. Here's the value I can add. I hope to hear from you, versus that pushy commission breath. I feel like that a lot of people are witnessing.
Mhm. And I think that's probably one of the biggest takeaways for people if they're watching today is, there are a sea of options out there, from lenders to agents to insurance providers,
Mhm.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Go find the person that you're most comfortable with. That might not
Mhm.
be me, that
Yeah.
might not be you, Kayla. In fact, I frequently have that discussion with people, and I certainly don't win every piece of business, nor do you. But so much of that is built off of relationships and
Mhm.
again recommendations from family
Mhm.
and friends. But I feel really great, when I am referred to someone, just that someone thinks enough of me and my business and how I conduct myself,
Right.
and treat my clients, the integrity that I have, that they're willing to work with me.
Well, on top of it too, one key piece of advice for anyone in this industry, if you don't land the deal, if the client chooses somebody else, don't call them, don't text them and email them and say, I can't believe you didn't use me. Don't do that. I actually had someone the other day choose not to work with me. They said, you were amazing. I can tell you care. Thank you so much. But we're going to use the lender that we used for our first house. We just really feel loyal to him. And
Mhm.
I said, that's awesome. That's so great. I totally understand. Thank you for the opportunity to get to know you. If anything changes, I'm here for you.
Yep. Especially in a day and age when loyalty is dead.
Yeah. And guess what? I am financing their home and they close middle of May. They
Wow.
decided to come back and use me. And had I said, I can't believe you're not going to use me, I'm the best, I don't think that would have gone very far. So at
No.
the end of the day, we have to respect people's decisions. You know,
Mhm.
we're not for everybody, and people have that opinion, and it's their decision.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
And, we're lucky in our area. I think there are a lot of really great, choices for agents, for lenders, and so on. I really don't often run into someone that I think, boy, they either an agent or lender are really, shady or, that they're unethical. I mean, I think by and large, everyone's trying to do the right thing and do what's best for their clients just to make things go as smoothly as possible. And that's why, like, for me, it's been really important, and I know for you as well, to get out and network, to visit with other agents, other lenders, find out what they're about. So then once you are doing a deal with them, you're really representing your clients well because you guys
Mhm.
have some rapport.
Absolutely, and that's what it's about, is who is Andy as a human? Who is Kayla as a human? Because if I know Kayla as a human, I probably can trust her handling my mortgage.
Absolutely. So,
Mhm.
well, Kayla, that's a really good, kind of a deep discussion on integrity
Mhm.
and relationships. And
Yeah,
so, for everyone watching today, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, you found this beneficial. And if either of us can ever be a resource, please reach out.
we're here to help.
We'll see you. Have a great week, Kayla.
Bye, Andy.